Good day, folks, and welcome to another segment on the bench. Today I'm going to bring you a great little caddis pattern here. This is the Emergent caddis pupa from Gary LaFontaine. No one was probably the most foremost authority and wrote a lot of books, a lot of studying on the caddis flies over the years. It's a fly that was featured in McLennan's book, Fly Fishing Western Trout Streams. I'll bring you. Let's go over the materials we use to tie the fly. We can tie from 8 size 10s to 18s on this one. I'll just use the larger ones when I demo. This is a Mustad C49 S-curve caddis hook. You can use a dry fly hook if you like. Standard dry fly. I'm going to be using some dark brown thread, 8/0. The shuck and the overbody is going to be some bright green antron. The underbody is going to be some golden tan and antron hairtron is actually called. And I've given this a tan and golden blend. I've kind of darkened that up a little bit. On the front, I'm going to use some dark brown. This is a kind of a Legis, kind of a sparkle dubbing there. The wing will use some very short Caparadun deer hair, nice short tips on it. And I'm just going to trick this one out. I'm going to add the micro metal on here for a rib. You can pick that up when it's wet. It's a nice little product there. Some of these products weren't around years ago when these patterns were developed, so I just like the way that looks, so I added it in there. That's the nice thing about tying your own flies. You can trick them out a little bit, but this is one of the better caddis patterns out there for sure. There are a lot of very good anglers that give this one great reviews. Undress the shank. Come in here with a little my antron. You want the antron to be a little lighter than the body. I'm going to tie it in fairly long, just kind of have I'm going to do the butts and the tail, or the overbody and the tail all at once. I pull this into about the length of my tail, cut off quite a few of the fibers, because I don't want that to overtake the pattern. There we go, just fairly sparse. And then I'll tie the overbody back over itself. Okay, then we'll bring in some of this micro metal here. This is in green. Sometimes on my caddis pupa too, I will use some of this new mirror, kind of a mylar, that type of thing on bodies underneath for the ribbing. It really works well. The reason I've gone to the micro metal on this, you'll see in just a minute. When I dub my body now, I'm just going to give that a fairly rough body, nice and buggy. LaFontaine did a lot of touch dubbing techniques. I think he was one of the guys who originated that as well, and that's where he'd have done that. Just waxed the thread in very short fibers and just touched it on. That worked very well. Gives you a nice buggy appearance. Trap that air is what basically he was trying to do here. So I don't want to do too much with the rib right now. I'm just going to come through here, make some big wide turns with my micro metal rib. Make sure I tie that back over itself so I don't lose it. We want a fairly good sized thorax on this. So now what I'm going to do is bring my little picker in here and pick this hair out. That's why you like the antron. I get a real buggy body. You can see the rib underneath it when it's wet. But really now it'll trap a lot of air. It looks like an insect. It really gives that a nice effect. Now when I tie this, we want to bubble style this. I don't want to tie it tight. I'm going to come in here with tight and then I push it back so it just bubbles with envelopes around the body. Tie that in. And it doesn't matter if the bottom is totally bubbled. I like to definitely have the sides and the top. Then I'll come in with the Caparadun hair. This is very short, fine tips on it. You'll have to look for this in your shops, but it's a great little hair for this. You'll find a lot of places for that very short compared on hair. Regular deer hair is not going to get it done for you. I'll get those tips in. It's not too bad. It's hard to stack that really short hair. I get a soft loop, and then I come around the top. Cut all these butts off. And the reason I use the brown thread is I can come forward now and kind of prepare that for my thorax, which is fairly good size. We've got just a little tuft of deer hair on top. You can see that. And I'll get my vise locked off here. Throw a half hitch on there. Got a little fiber in there. I'll cut that off. This is a real dark brown. You can use whatever you like. This is a Ligus dubbing. And that's kind of a pretty rough dubbing again. This fly it's not a real pretty fly as far as that goes. We want to get the effect of this caddis being caught up in the surface film. It's a dubby little rascal there, that's fine. It's got the nice little trailing shuck on it, you can see that. And I've tied it on a size 10, but I've come around the hook quite a bit. It's actually looks like maybe it's a 12. And just get my top on there. Kind of see one little hair poking out there. I can get that one over my magnifier. But a great little pattern here, and one of the best caddis flies you'll throw it. Make sure you have some of these in your box. If you're a stream angler or river angler, you want Emergent caddis or sparkle pupa on here. Gary LaFontaine's. We'd like to thank him for all his contributions over the years to the fly fishing sport. A lot of us never got a chance to meet him, but a great guy. All right, thanks again for watching. We'll catch you again real soon.